don't forget that just because maybe from the outside someone's life looks like it's going great and everything's perfect, that they don't need to hear that text or that call that just says, hey, how you doing today?
All right, Mom. Rod Wave,
Okay.
Call Your Friends. He's an artist from Florida.
Okay.
He's got some pretty heavy vocals, likes to sing.
Okay.
And I've been a fan of him for a while, so he just dropped this video and this song, Call Your Friends. And it's trending right now, so I want you to react to it.
All right.
You know the deal. Pause it where you want.
Okay. Oh, he's in a plane. Warms my heart.
I've been up for 3 nights trying to plan out my life. I've been living so wrong, but I just wanna do right. It's like I did her so wrong, but wanted her to be my wife. Wanna pack up my clothes, my kids, and catch us a flight. They getting older. I never wanted them to know how it felt to come from a broken home. My fault, guess I did it all.
One, he's super easy to listen to. Yeah, he's got
a powerful voice.
Yeah,
huh?
it's fantastic. And already, you know me, I like the movement. I like the music that moves you.
Here's some melody in there.
And I also just heard that line that he said he didn't want his kids to grow up in a broken home. That's a tough one. Don't fucking get me crying again.
You gotta listen to what he says after, though.
Okay, don't get me crying again. Damn it.
I'm trying not
my
to.
kids and catch us a flight. They getting older. I never wanted them to know how it felt to come from a broken home. My fault, guess I did it all wrong. Part the Rolls truck, ain't drove that thing in a minute. I don't even know why I bought it. Really hate the attention. I said it was the look on my mama face when I did it, but really it was my pride ready to say it ain't ready. Can't get lost in the sauce, called it money competitions. What's the point of an Instagram image when you got millions for real? You really got the millions for real.
Shout out to the Goonies t-shirt.
You saw that?
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
If you've never seen the Goonies, people, Astoria, Oregon, it's just down south from us. My kids were obsessed with the Goonies. This guy.
That was a classic.
Watch the Goonies. Here we go.
Yeah. 7 in the morning, my shit buzzing and banging. All day my phone rang ever since I've been famous. Everybody got the perfect scheme to get us some paper. Trying to make it seem it's best for me and it ain't no favor. If it wasn't for favors, they'll never call you. Sometimes I need someone to talk to. Sometimes this life can be confusing. Call your friends and ask how they doing. I'm coolin'. Most days I just be coolin'. Everybody got their own life and their own problems. This life's too short for grudges. Call them. To the girl who got my heart forever, open my line. To my niggas down the road, one call at a time. My phone never ring to see if I'm doing.
Listen, this guy is speaking the most truth right there.
It is.
Success, it taints things. It can change your priorities. But everybody's struggling. And at the end of the day, when you get to the end of this journey, what's going to matter the most is what you did with the relationships that were closest to you.
Everyone always says it, but, you know, you hear so many celebrities talk about before and after the fame and stuff. Like, he was talking about his phone's constantly ringing, always, you know, people want favors and want stuff from him. And it's got to be extremely difficult trying to navigate who's really there for you and who's just, you know,
who you
there
can
to
really
use
trust,
you.
yeah, and who's trying to take from you, right? Because this world is full of people that want to take, and a healthy relationship is about giving, and sometimes you do need to take, but it's mutual, right? Like it's a balance.
It's just not a one-sided thing.
No, and you got to be able to trust those relationships, and those are the relationships that will carry you through anything.
Yeah.
I mean, my little core group of friends, they put up with a lot from me, and I would be there for them in a second, and they would be there for me, and that's the best part about it. So listen up, he's speaking truth here.
Fine. Even though I be so caught up on the grind, could you call me if I ever cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind? If I ever cross your mind?
I think that's the other thing, right? Like from the outside, somebody can look like everything's going so great for them, and you forget to ask them how they're really doing.
Right.
Like
Right.
you stop calling them up and being like, hey, everything looks like things are going well for you, but is that really how you're doing?
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's struggles that are happening and everything looks good on the surface, but it isn't.
Well, and
like,
especially when you're in a position like that, you have
Yeah.
to maintain that, that smile and
yeah, that's right.
that presence.
Yep, you've got to be putting on that appearance that everything's good and life is grand all the time. Mm-hmm. And reality is you need somebody that's willing to ask you the question and not forget about asking those questions. Like, how are you really doing?
You just break it down. We're all human at the end of the day. You know,
Yeah.
nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's going to be just
No.
living that life. Everybody's struggling. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to just check in with the ones that are close to you, make sure they're really there.
And don't forget to check in when things look like they're going really well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that's when somebody needs it the most, whether you realize it or not.
True.
Yeah. Back at it.
Do I ever cross your mind? If I ever cross your mind, please call me.
Back to the plane. I love it. Okay, also, if you ever need perspective, maybe this is my little privilege over here, being a flight attendant. If you ever need perspective, get your ass in a plane and look down at everything below you and just realize, one, how big the world is, how many people are doing the same thing, how not alone you are because there's so much out there. But two, also think about the magic that's taking place just being in that plane right then, in that moment.
I think some of my most inspirational, healing, and like important
you're gonna
moments have
say.
been when I was sitting in a plane, just looking out the
Absolutely.
window. And
Absolutely.
I mean, anything from taking off and just seeing how many people are traveling and just doing the same things that you do, and like realizing how
Yeah.
small you really are in
Yep.
the big scheme, along with like, there's something about being on a plane 30,000 feet in the air, looking out at the sky and
Yeah.
just realizing how endless it is. And
Yep.
there's a lot of inspiration that can come with that,
It can. And actually, what comes with that is the fact that you're not in control. I think sometimes we think we control things. And when you can like let yourself surrender to that idea that you aren't in control, you can find a peace in the flow. And that's what I find on the plane all the time. That's why I love it. I'm not in control at that moment. And there's something about surrendering to that idea that makes me feel so at peace.
I used to get a ton of anxiety flying, and I had to come to the conclusion that, it's just out of my hands once I'm up there. So what's the point in panicking and being anxious? You kind of just have to succumb to that and realize.
That's a lot
and
of life.
Also, just trust that things are going to be okay.
And that's
think that's what
life.
yeah.
That translates to the ground if you let it.
All right. What are your overall thoughts about Rod Wave and the song?
I wish it was longer.
Yeah, it is a pretty short song.
It's a short song. It's short and sweet and really beautiful. And I think it's a great reminder to, one, count your blessings, but two, check in on the people that matter. And don't forget that just because maybe from the outside someone's life looks like it's going great and everything's perfect, that they don't need to hear that text or that call that just says, hey, how you doing today? What's
Well, and
going
I think
on
that
with
was a good point you made earlier, talking about the fact that like in those moments where you think things are probably going so well or look like they're going so well,
Yeah.
a lot of the times those are the moments that they need it the most, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Agreed.
you like Rod Wave though? His voice is pretty.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great. I like the whole message. That is 3 videos today.
3
that
for 3
Mama
that she
proves.
liked.
Hell
Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go. That's 3 for
That
3.
was nice.
All right.
I was worried.
That was Mom Reacts to Call Your Friends by Rod Wave. So
That was a good one.
we'll see you
Take a
next
listen.
time. Adios.
Peace.